Hey guys, how are you doing? I'm trying to make sure my phone is on Do Not Disturb, and it is. How are you guys doing? I'm sorry about the distraction of my rubber bands, but guys, I get my braces off I was supposed to get them off on October 13th, but my bite is not right. So I get them off officially on January 11th, so I've got to keep my rubber bands in at all times. So how are you guys doing? It has been a while. About probably like a month or so since I've been on here doing a live video, and it just so you know, the reason why I haven't been on here as much is because Facebook has shadow banned me, meaning that the followers that I had like 2.6 thousand. I'm right under 2.6. I've lost a few followers, of course, and it happens. And so they were shadow banning me, meaning every time I would put some kind of post up of any kind, a video, a status, anything, they would always say, hey, pay to promote, pay to promote. I've paid to promote stuff over the years since I've been on YouTube. I've been on YouTube since January of 2014 or January of 2015. January 2014. I've been on Facebook, and I've spent a lot of money on Facebook and on Instagram and everywhere else. However, now since my audience is continuously growing, then I shouldn't have to pay to promote everything. So I'm going to come on here every week, for sure, without a doubt, moving forward, because this is where I started. I started on Facebook, and then I ventured out to YouTube, and then I went to Instagram, and then I went to TikTok and Twitter. So I want to make sure all of my followers, wherever you are, because everyone does not follow me on every platform. So I want to make sure that I'm connecting with all of my followers, no matter where you are. Now, if you are not following me on the other platforms, do so right now. Coach B. Wiley on everything. So go ahead and make sure you're following me, because when you don't see me here, I'm always on Instagram. I do multiple videos a week on my YouTube, and then I do a couple of TikTok videos where I'm getting you dating and relationship advice in 60 seconds. So today is Ask B. Wiley. I love doing these Ask B. Wileys. If you've been following me for a while, do y'all remember when I would do Ask B. Wiley Wednesdays, and I quit? Well, I quit because wasn't nobody asking me no questions at the time. But now I'm on this site called Cura.com. And since Turkey Day and being on vacation and getting back home, I have not been answering questions. And I have like 100 questions, right under 100 questions waiting on me. And it's so funny how I went from no one asking me questions, or maybe one person ever so often asking me questions, to now I have like almost 100 people asking me questions. And it's such a blessing. So this person's question is, and I'm probably going to do a couple of questions just because I haven't been on here in a while. All right. This question says, when you are in a relationship and you notice the red flags, is it best to walk away or try to change the person? Oh my gosh. When you're noticing red flags, number one, the red flags typically don't just pop up after you get into a relationship, unless y'all moving fast. Because some people, they move fast, and it is what it is. However, my advice is that when you're dating, you actually are dating. You're getting to know that person. You're getting to know how they grew up. You're getting to know their background. You're getting to know their family life. You're getting to know what their goals are, what they believe in, who they believe in, if they believe in anything at all. You're getting to know their mindset, if they're emotional, intelligent, how they handle stressful situations, what they do when they're mad, they're sad, angry, depressed, happy. You're getting to just observe them with other people, see how they treat strangers on the street, find out what their work ethic is, find out how they are in traffic. I know that sounds silly, but I'm serious. They can seem cool, calm, and collect, but then when they get in traffic, they completely crazy. So you need to see them in a lot of different ways. Of course, no one's going to be able to see everything and how they react or not in every situation. However, you want to go with your gut, listen to your gut, not be in a rush to be with someone just because you're tired of being single, and use great discernment. So when you notice a red flag, neither one of these are good options. You definitely don't want to just up and walk away unless they're trying to kill you. That's definitely a red flag. Or abuse you or take advantage of your body, then sure, you got to go. But outside of that, you want to address it. What do I always say? If there is a red flag, if there is an issue, if there is some kind of conflict, you always want to address it. And how do you do that? You always go into the conversation. You lead with love. If love is not there yet, that's just what I said. That's just a generic term. You lead with love. Meaning, you open the conversation by letting them know why you're with them, why you care about them, what you really like about them. And then when you transition, you say, however, I've noticed lately that you're being disrespectful to me when you talk to me. You yell at me. You even cuss at me. What is going on with that? Because that will not be tolerated in this relationship. I will not tolerate someone being disrespectful and yelling and cussing at me. See, you're addressing it. You're not being crazy. You're not yelling. You're not leading with your emotions. You're leading with facts. You're leading with love. And then you're giving them factual examples of what they have done in certain situations that is not jiving with you. So when you address this, then they'll have to say what they have to say. And whatever it is, they might own it. You want them to own it. The best case scenario is them owning their stuff. Some people are unaware of what they're doing because they're so used to doing it for so long and no one has called them out on it, and they're just a train off the tracks. And so you're bringing it to their attention, and if they're mature and if they're self-aware and honest and want to grow and want to evolve, they'll take a look at themselves and be like, you know what? You're right. I'm used to my ex-girlfriend, my ex-boyfriend. I'm used to talking to them a certain way, even with my family. And I just thought it was normal. And then they'll adjust. The thing is, when you're seeing these red flags in relationships, because at some point we're all probably a red flag, and then we just have to adjust and pivot and make the necessary changes. So if they want to make the changes, sure. If they don't, and they push back, and they give you resistance, and they decide that you're the problem and not them, or if they say just deal with it, it's me, then you have to decide if you do want to leave that relationship. Now the question is, when you're in a relationship and you notice the red flags, it's best to walk away. So I just addressed the walking away part. Or try to change the person. Do not try to change anybody. If you want to change anyone, you change yourself. And you're changing yourself for the better, not because you're changing yourself to adjust to what somebody wants. So if you're in a situation and you know that person is not jiving with you for many reasons, and they got red flags flying all over the freaking field, the best thing you can do after you've addressed it is to decide, this is not going to work for me, and that is okay, and I'm going to go ahead and head out. I'm going to go ahead and head out because I don't have the right, you don't have the right to go into someone's life, get into a relationship, and decide that you want to change them. If they were a smoker when you met them, you don't have the right to decide that you don't want them to be a smoker anymore, and you need to make them stop smoking a Black and Mild, a cigarette, weed every day. It's not your job. It's not your right. If this person usually likes to sleep in, they like to sleep in. They don't want to get up until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That's just how they roll. You don't have the right to try to make them wake up at 5 a.m. because you wake up at 5 a.m. and go for your morning run. Whoever they are is who they are. It's on them to change for themselves, not for you. Now, when you're with someone, you're supposed to be with someone who challenges you to be better. But who they are is who they are. And if they don't see an issue with who they are, if they don't see an issue with the red flags that they're dishing out, that's on them. That's not on you. It's not your job to try to beat some sense into them. It's not your job to try to beat your beliefs into them. It's your job to accept them as they are. And if who they are doesn't jive or roll with you, then you're not meant to be together. And that is okay. All right, guys. So that was the question of the day. And I think I'm going to do another one. I'm doing Ask Me Wiley here. Since I'm on a roll, what time is it? I got some time. We got about 2 more minutes. Okay. I think that, and what I'm looking at, guys, right now, I'm looking at Quora.com, Quora.com. A lot of people from all over the world literally write me on Quora.com. You just look me up, Coach B. Wiley, or it might just be under B. Wiley. I think it's just under B. Wiley. And you'll go in here and you'll anonymously just ask me your dating, relationship, communication question. You can ask me. Some people ask my personal opinion on how I handled a long distance relationship. What was my biggest heartbreak? They ask me like literal, direct, personal questions. All right, let me see, because I'm scrolling down. Okay, because I'm trying to get a good, quick one. Let's see. All right, we'll do this one. What can end a long-term relationship? This is from a young man. What can end a long-term relationship? Any relationship can be ended when there's disrespect and no trust. Any relationship can be ended when when you're no longer wanting to be around each other, when you're getting on each other's nerves, when you just don't see a future with that person. Any relationship can end when you're not benefiting from each other. If there's no benefit, if you're not learning from your partner, your friend, or whoever you're in a relationship with, and they're not learning from you, why are y'all in it? Now, of course, you're not with someone to take from them and only just suck the life and energy and the education or experience or whatever you can get out of them. Of course not. However, any relationship is a give and take. Why do you go to work every day? To put in the work so they can pay you. It's a give and take. Why are you in this relationship with this person? Because you like their personality, you like their character, you like their conversation. Why are they with you? Because they enjoy the same things that you like to do. They like your hobbies. They like the way you carry yourself. They're attracted to you. It's a give and take at the end of the day. So the best way to, or what can end a long-term relationship, is disrespect, someone cheating, someone not being truthful, and someone just not willing to put in the work that it takes to keep your relationship boat afloat. And that applies to not just romantic relationships, friendly relationships too. I've had to end long-term friendships because where that person was going was not on the same yellow brick road that I was going. That doesn't mean they're a bad person or there's something wrong with them. It just means where we're going, our ultimate destinies are not aligned any longer. Who we were 10 years ago is not who we are today, and that is okay. So if you're in a long-term relationship, let's say it's been 10 years, you started at 20, now you're at 30, and you're realizing what your purpose is and what you really want out of life, and this person has not changed in a decade, and they're just going with the flow, figuring it out, flying by the seat of their pants. If you decide that's not what you want to do anymore, it's okay. It just means that they're going over here and you're going over there. And y'all not going to have no beef. It's not going to be extra. You're not going to be on social media. You're just going to decide to address that and be done with it. All right, guys, this is Ask Me Wiley. If you made it this far, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Go ahead and put the comments down there. If you want to ask me a question, I will be on here more so than not as we transition into 2022. So if you have a question for me, dating, relationships, if you want to know any personal questions like what I've dealt with and how I had a bad situation, how I communicated through it, why did I break up with the last guy? Well, the only guy. I've only been in one adult relationship in my 40 years. If you want to know more information about me as a person as well as my B. Wiley brand, feel free to holler at your girl. And if you like books, I'm an author as well. I wrote Hello, My Name is Single. I wrote Successfully Solving Single. I have one book on how to communicate with your mate. All these are ebooks that you can get at my website, coachbwiley.com. If you want to know what I'm doing on the daily, feel free to follow me. Not only here, follow me on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitter. So until next time, guys, I'll talk to you later on this week. What is today? Today is Taco Tuesday. So I'll probably more than likely be back on Friday. All right, guys, talk to you later.